Hi, we're here at EAA, the Experimental Aircraft Association in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I'm standing in front of a pit cairn, which was used for mail and other purposes back in the 20s and 30s. This Aviation Museum has an awful lot of history in here, and it'll really take days to go through if you want to see everything and the history of everything. But we're going to carry on to what I was involved with when I got to Saigon in 1964 and 65. Basically, you stayed in an old hotel until you could find some real estate agent to get you some housing outside of that. I eventually found a place above a tailor shop on the second floor. And this was a pretty nice little apartment. And of course, with every apartment in the Far East, you also need help. So you get a maid that does the laundry, the cooking, and everything else. This was really good, except it got crowded. I did have some parties there with Bill Bruner and others to come over and have drinks and to share stories of the day's events. The food, yeah, I really loved it because I was brought up on country food up in northern Michigan, and this was my kind of diet. It was really good. Noodles, yeah, that was a treat really. Eventually, we'd have noodles at the farm, but only after Grandma would roll out egg noodles and slice them up and then boil them to death and add a little chicken or whatever else was available for the broth. But here in Saigon, I just really enjoyed the local market and the food there. Most people shied away from it and wanted to get canned stuff and everything else like that from out of the country, supposedly better for you. No, it wasn't. The milk they had there was unpasteurized, and that was okay too. But as a result, almost everyone went through spasm of incontinence, you might say. Out at the airport, before you got to fly, there was a ready room, and it had some vile tasting coffee that everybody wanted a cup of. And I enjoyed it too. But on the second floor was where the bathrooms were. And there was only one commode in the men's bathroom. But as the line grew longer and longer, awaiting relief, the women's bathroom also got invaded. Now they had a commode and a bidet, and some people mistook the bidet for a commode, and they used that too, much to the dismay of the secretaries that worked in the building. And now the bad part was none of these things would flush because the water did not work in the early morning hours in the operations building. Now the water did work out on the ramp. Why? I have absolutely no idea. But my star aviator that I'd released in Saigon, Roger Vickery, he was standing in line and made an explosive sound and sloshed down the stairs out onto the ramp, took off his befouled pants, hosed them out with the ramp water from the hose, and squished off to his airplane with a few invectives behind him. But this was life there, and I didn't really mind it at all because I knew the problems you'd have in the morning, so I took care of all my bodily functions before I left the house and got out there. Scheduling there was hectic. When I took over as assistant manager of flying, I controlled the schedule, and there was prime schedules like the Delta Courier, that was a good one, or sent up to Da Nang or other outfits up there. Overnights, didn't really happen except in Nha Trang and up to Da Nang. In Da Nang we had a hostel there, which was pretty darn good. And it also had a kitchen. But all of those things were wonderful for me, but not for everybody. And after a few years of babysitting people there in Vietnam as assistant manager flying, I opted to move to Vientiane, Laos. Thank you.